we are now joined by driver the number 34 Project Lifesaver Chevrolet for Turner Scott Motorsports, Scott Heckert. Scott, it is your first career NASCAR K&N Pro Series East victory. By virtue of that, it's also your first win on a road course. Tell us about that last restart. It looked for a while like Ranger and Custer were battling out, like they were going to get the lead, and you came in and took the lead and got the victory.
Yeah, we got knocked back a little bit on an earlier restart. I think back to maybe like 14th or something like that, which actually just gave us a chance to conserve our stuff, get to the field a little bit, and yeah, at the end just kept out for the tires. And I thought even if the race went green, we'd have a chance to go get them. And I was actually kind of sad when the caution came out, because anything can happen. You know, someone can hit you from behind or whatever. So I had that move planned for about the 3 caution laps before the restart. I was thinking, you know, what's the way I can make sure I don't get hit from behind and try to go for the win. And basically it was get a good start and try to go to the inside of Ranger if he braked early. And he got on the brakes earlier than I thought he would, and just put it in there.
Now, Scott, the last few weeks you've had a really fast car. Langley at Columbus, you picked up 2 poles in that span. At Columbus, you were running well, and you were running in the lead for a while. Just seems like your team and you have been really connecting the past few races. Just talk a little bit about that and the progression that your team's made throughout the season to get you to victory lane.
Yeah, my team's amazing. It took a few races at the start of the season to really gel, and after that, we just always had fast cars. But it kind of seemed like we either kind of take ourselves out with some bad calls or bad communication, or just something of not our own doing. And the last few races, we've really been connecting and putting the speed to the finishes. I thought maybe we could have gotten some wins in there, but here we are.
All right, let's open it up for questions now. We'll start over here at the end.
The second to last restart, what did you learn on that to set up for the restart at the end?
That's where I learned that I thought I could get a better drive on Ranger. There's the rule where you can't pull out of your line before you cross the start-finish line, and I got a pretty good run on him on that restart, and I actually had to roll out of the throttle a little bit to keep from hitting his back bumper. So I learned to lay off a little bit and get the same run, so at the line I could just pull out instead of having to check up.
DustinLongMRN.com. Scott, after you got through turn 1, you got the lead and everything kind of got jumbled behind you, but Cole came up on you. What was that last lap? What were the last 2 laps like? It looked like you kind of built a gap, and then he started to look like he started trying to close the gap some.
Yeah. Well, when I got by him at 3 wide and up through the S's, I was like, okay. I mean, basically just got to hit my marks really well into the bus stop. I have to go in deep enough where they won't try and move. But I have to drive off well and try to pull a gap. So did that, and the last few corners, I mean, I was pretty confident that if I just kept on the road, we would be fine. So I just kind of was a little easy those last few corners. So I think allowed Cole to drive up on us a little bit. But pretty much once we got the lead and through the bus stop that time, I thought we were going to get away.
Did you see Cole's wreck behind you, or
I did.
What did you see?
Just a lot of smoke in his car sideways, and I was sort of confused, but then I stopped caring because I was the winner.
Hey Scott, Kyle Magnus, Speedway Digest. This win, how much weight is off your shoulders now? What does this do for your team moving forward?
Yeah, I think a lot. It's fantastic. I think there's a couple races where we should have won, or at least had the car to win, at least up in contention. So. A lot. I think the sky's the limit from now. Just got to keep doing what we've been doing, not change a thing.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dave Sully, on Racing News. If you were in the double zeros position on that restart, would you have done what he did? He followed you into second. I know you noticed that. Would you have tried the same thing?
What did he do?
He went outside when you went under, and he went outside of Rhodes and took second. He followed you into second.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job, actually. I mean, it was kind of hard to tell because I was trying not to look in the mirror exactly what was happening behind me. But for him to come out of that whole 3 wide turn 1 in second, I thought was pretty good, but for him. So he did something right, and I thought maybe he had a little something for us at the end, but I knew if I was smooth, it wouldn't be a problem.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. At what point did you get the gut feeling that you could win this race? First practice, second practice, qualifying, or 2 laps to go, turn 1?
Well, my crew would tell you about 6 months ago I started talking about it. Watkins, Glen means a lot to me and my family. We're not too far from here, 5 hours or so. But my dad's been coming here for 40 years, so it just means a lot to us. And I knew I have a decent road course background, haven't done it in a while, but I thought it would give me an advantage. So they've heard me talking about it for a long time. And so I guess now they're believers. So the answer is back then, but today, in first practice, I thought we had a really solid car. It didn't have a ton of raw speed on a 1 lap, but it was consistent lap after lap after lap.
Thank you.
No problem.
Steve Richards with PRN. You talk about your emotions in the car, especially after you took a checkered flag. Did you cry?
I did not cry. No, no, I did not cry. There's a lot of, fist pumping and excitement. It was hard to contain. And you think about winning when you go to sleep every night, and you just never know how you're gonna react. And I guess it's just a lot of excitement, a lot of, you can't contain yourself, but no crying.
Scott, I have a question for you. Ben Rhodes was in here earlier as a 3rd place finisher. He said that actually when you guys tested at VIR, that you really helped him out a lot and helped him with his road course racing. I want to ask you, I know that you guys tested at VIR. That's where your next event is for the K&N East, the Biscuitville 125. What do you take, obviously you'll have some momentum, but what do you take specifically from this race into your next event?
Well, we tested there, so we know we're good. We didn't have a chance, obviously, to test at Watkins Glen, but we know we're fast, and certainly helped Ben out a lot because he doesn't have much road course experience, and it looked like he was really willing to learn, and I like helping people out because he's helped me on ovals when I've struggled. So he's helped me out, and just looking forward to VIR. We know we have a fast car from the test, and obviously today we had the fastest car, so I think there's no reason why we can't go out there and repeat.
Any more questions for Scott?
Yeah, I got one. So this is your first K&N win. How does this compare to your first win in anything else that you've done? What does this mean?
Well, it means a lot. It's a lot of hard work has been going into this for the last couple of years. A lot of commitment from teams and crew guys and family, and just as everything gone into it. And it feels way better than winning a go-kart race. It's been a while since I've won a car race, since it's mostly been K&N I've been doing. So it's an incredible feeling. It really is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any more questions for Scott? All right, Scott Heckert, thank you very
When
much.
was the last time you won a car race then?
Boy, I couldn't even tell you. 2011. Something like that, yeah. And on a road course.
And now, thank you very much, Scott. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.